David, welcome to Bradford City, here as our new Head of Football Operations. How does it feel to be here first of all and to have made the decision to join the club?
Yeah, very happy to be here. I've known sort of about it for the last week or two, 10 days, speaking with Ryan, and it's something that immediately appealed to me. Bradford, obviously, it's something that I've looked at from afar originally when I've been at Wigan and Mansfield. Always loved coming here. Big fan base. Really get behind the team in a city, and it's just a football club that, I've always looked on fondly at. And when I got the phone call and when me and Ryan got speaking, it's something that immediately appealed to me. So yeah, delighted to be here, and the hard work starts now.
How much does it help having that reference point of having competed directly with Bradford City over the past couple of years? Well, in your position at Mansfield, you've got a bit of information, like you say, about the club, and you know plenty about it and what this place is all about, and you're hoping to obviously use that to your advantage now that you're on this side of the fence, I'd imagine. Yeah,
it's a huge help. We've the previous sort of 3 seasons at Mansfield were always in and around it, in and around the playoffs with Bradford, so to speak. Last season Mansfield missed out by a goal we did on the last day. Bradford obviously made the playoffs, so we've always been sort of toe to toe, so to speak, to a degree, and probably looking at similar players. I know the level quite well now, having worked there for 3 seasons, and it's something that will stand me in good stead. But I need to get to know this football club. I've always got sort of what I feel are good ideas, but every football club is different. We all work in different ways. And like I said, I can't wait to get going, meet the staff. I've held conversations initially, small conversations with the manager, with Stephen, obviously Ryan, like I said. So seem a good set of people, good set of staff. But like I said, we need to get working for this summer and the long term sort of next 2, 3, 4 years after that.
What made it such an exciting proposition for you when you look at the things that you've listed, but also having the reference of looking in from afar and experience from across the EFL, Championship, League One with Wigan, and like we say in League Two with Mansfield? What made you look from the outside into Bradford City and think that you fancied a little bit of
it? I've got a bug for football, and I've not worked. I've been outside of football for the last sort of 9 months. It's been probably, and initially I had some sort of family business to concentrate on, and that's the reason I left Mansfield, and I had to focus on that. Sort of January came and February came, and I've got a bit more spare time, of course, and I've got the bug for football, and it was really hard to say no to this when this opportunity came about. So it was something that I was very keen to get moving with, and it's nice to be wanted as well by a football club. They obviously, Ryan likes the things I had to say. I told him what I believe in. I told him what I think we can achieve. I told him where I was pretty honest about where I think we can be better and where we have to be better, on and off the pitch, and have a long-term sort of plan and projects that we have to put into place. It can't just be season by season. We have to look for the next 3, 4, 5 years. That's what we did at Wigan. That's what we did at Mansfield. Obviously, I'm not there anymore, but they're going really well, and it looks like they're going to go up. But it's 3, 4, 5 transfer windows worth of work. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to stick to your beliefs and not alter from them. Otherwise, you end up each season just being judged quite harshly. So you need to have a long-term plan, stick to your beliefs, and eventually, I believe everything will work out.
You mentioned having them initial conversations with the manager Graham Alexander, the head of recruitment Stephen Gent. Just how have they been in the short term, in the time that you've had with them, and how important are those relationships going to be as you take on the job?
Yeah, huge, and we're meeting on Thursday to go through everything in a lot more depth. The manager, Stephen, Ryan. We've held initial conversations. It's been tough because it's been the Easter weekend, and Graham's been busy. Obviously, the game here on last Friday, and on Monday up at Grimsby. But we've held initial conversations, and our thoughts are very similar about the current setup and about what needs to be done moving forwards. But yeah, key relationships. If those relationships don't work, then it's never going to work. So the key relationships to build this football club and get it moving in the right direction. But we can't look too sort of when you look back to a year ago, so to speak, the club was chasing the playoffs, managed to get in the playoffs, and that was only a year ago. Things haven't gone quite well this season. I personally didn't see that happening when sort of this summer or last summer when building this team for the season we're in now. Normally teams kick on and have a better season than they did previously and might finish in the top three or at least the playoffs again. And it could just be a hangover from last summer, getting beat up at Carlisle, unlucky with injuries, different piece, missing out on the odd play or two. I mean, Patterson came in and he's only played 6 games or so. So there's always a bit of luck involved, but you have to have the right things in place to get you moving forwards. And I wasn't here. I don't know why it's not gone as well as everybody wanted in at the football club this season, but it hasn't, and that's the position we find ourselves in, and we need to get it better for the next season after, and the season after that, and for the long-term future of the football club.
You mentioned, like you said, they're having a long-term plan and a long-term sort of idea for the club. What is that, first of all? I appreciate that's quite an open-ended question, but when you consider a long-term plan at a club like this, do things like the culture, the history of the club and the tradition, factoring all those into how you want to play on the field, does that all come into your thinking? Yeah,
I mean, I'm not the manager. The manager will always have the final say when it comes to recruitment. Obviously there's names that are put in front of him, and it's something that Stephen's been doing closely with him since Graham got appointed, but and I might have my own ideas about how we do certain things, how we recruit, how contracts are structured, and hopefully those ideas are sort of looked at and we improve things moving forward. But you've got to lean on the history. You have to. Every football club's got their own history. The culture, it's a word that's used a lot in football. Ultimately, winning games is everything, and that. The place is a much better place when you're winning games. It's the easiest. Everything goes well off the pitch when you're winning games, whether it be the kiosks, whether it be commercial, whether it be shirt sales. Ultimately, everything's led by your football on the pitch. And if you're losing games, everything feels wrong in the football club. But if you're winning games, that's when everybody's on side and pulling in the same direction. So yeah. We've got a big job on our hands, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen overnight. Patience is always needed, but hopefully I do my bit, because it's not just me. The manager's the most important person. We've got the chief exec Ryan, we've got head of recruitment, everybody from top to bottom. You guys working here, we all got to do our bit, and hopefully the supporters will appreciate it and see signs that things are moving in the right direction again.
5 games left of this season. What does your job look like between now and the end of the season? What do you want to have accomplished in preparation for next when you look at it?
Yeah, well, it's clear. Obviously, the playoffs was the aim. I'm assuming at the start of the season. That looks a long shot right now. So the manager's only been in a short space of time. He'll be making his own assumption on what he feels the team needs for the summer. We'll be meeting regularly to discuss what we want to do with players for who are in contract, players that are out of contract, what the plans are moving forwards with them, and then having a look at targets and what we want to do. He's got a style of play, he's got a formation that he'll want players to be recruited for, so I'll very much sort of see what work has been done so far by Stephen and Ryan and the manager and his staff, and if I can have my sort of look on things, and maybe a fresh pair of eyes is always sort of can be a help at the football club. Any football club is probably similar to when I went in at Mansfield. A fresh pair of eyes seemed to work, and I'm hoping I can bring that. And like I said, I just want to get started and less talking, and let's sort of see what we can produce over the summer and moving forwards from that.